Hey guys, Bass Sensei here, and this week for our setup tip, I'm going to talk about truss rod adjustments, so stay tuned. And, just doing some soul. Anyway, truss rod setups, here we go. Guys, so most basses have a truss rod access with a cover or without underneath the nut. So when you have the Allen wrench that corresponds with it, or find one, when you look at it this way, to tighten the truss rod, which will bring a bow out of the middle flat, you want to turn it clockwise. And no more than a quarter turn at a time between testing with strings at tension, okay? Now, some basses give you this wonderful deal here, where you have to take the either the pick guard off or the neck off the bass to make the truss rod adjustment. So obviously you have to unstring and string for adjustments on that. Okay? But the general rule of thumb that I like to follow is this. The older the bass, the more patient you have to be with the truss rod adjustment. Okay? Older basses are made out of rock or hard maple bass necks, and they've been a neck for a long time. So when you make an adjustment, it's gonna try a little bit. Now a newer bass is made out of a little bit newer wood, a little more moisture content, and they're gonna respond quicker to truss rod adjustments. However, what I would tell you to do is this: loosen up your strings a little bit. Don't have to take all the tension off of it, but take some of the tension off the neck, because what that truss rod does is it counter tensions the neck from the tension of the strings to flatten the neck out, okay? So if you take the tension off, you can be rest assured that your tension is going to be right, and you can test it until you get it to where you want it. Now, if some truss rods have not been adjusted for the life of the instrument, sometimes when you tighten them, it takes a little bit of a crook. In other words, when you sight down the neck, you could see that it's a little bit up and then down and then up and then down again. Now, if that happens, then your actual frets are going to have to be filed and crowned in order to make that bass play the best it can. But I've always kind of been a fan of this. Get a bass the best you can get it, and just let it live its life like that. You know, I mean, you don't have to get obsessive about having the most, low action as possible. Sometimes soul comes in putting a little bit of effort into your hands. Ask an upright player. All right, that's my tip for truss rod adjustments. Until the next time, I'm Bass Sensei, and you're dismissed.